streaming. So then for you guys, I am going to do. I'll let him in there. Let's try that again. I'm gonna go ahead and share, and I think for you guys, I'm gonna do it. If I could show two, that would be great. But I'm gonna just do. I'll do this. This will be okay. Share. Okay. So then I'm gonna hop here, full screen. Where did I do that before? No. Why is it like this? Like this? Like this? Like this? I know one of these work. Window, view. Yeah, that's what I thought I hit. Let's try that again. There it is. Okay. And we're gonna get rid of this. And I'm going to show the chat. All right. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. Again, I'll be periodically checking the chat. So right now, feel free to unmute yourself and or put your request in the chat, and I'll kind of be jumping around between those. Oh, and then let's go here. So we can start with not that one, this one. Okay. All right. I think we're okay. I got to remember that though for that one. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. There's a little bit of production value. I'm still trying to work out the kink stuff. I know what I need to do. It's a little bit involved, but it's okay. Okay, so let's just kind of. I think instead of jump around. Hello, Ali Alak. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Ali? Okay, it looks like it's working. Okay. And then let me check this really quick. Yeah, this looks good too. Okay. So I'm gonna try to recreate what I did last time and just go through each question and see how quickly we can do this. We can anticipate exam 2 next week, basically over the second half of chapter 1. So I think it's like 4, 5, and 6, right? So let's just take this question by question. So we have f of x equals this, g of x equals this. Evaluate the following. F plus g. Okay, we can do all of this. Let me do it this way though. I'm gonna go ahead and get a screenshot of this. This one's a little bit involved. Not a little bit. I feel like we need to write it down. So I'm just gonna get a copy. So let me get a copy. It's supposed to pop up. There it is. No, it just went away. Just missed it. Damn it. I think I can pull it up here. Where's my finder? It was a screenshot. I think it was this one. Nope. 14, right? I think it was this one. Yeah, that's it. I want to share. Send it here. Come on. I see my signal's like weakening a bit. Come on. Go like this. Can I copy it at least? Come on. There it is. Okay, let's hop back here and then I can hit done here. This one, let's go ahead and add this photo, which is this one, and come on. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna close you out too. Alright, can hit done. And then this one. So okay, and then on here I need to hop over to the iPad, which is that one. All right, I think we're ready to play. So let's go to add photo. This one, add. Awesome. Like this, like this. Let's go to paper. So like graph paper, and I think the view is already popped up. Cool beans. Okay. So this is the question that we just pulled from the homework. Okay. So let's just instead. Usually I'll write it down so it's not so much back and forth. But this one had a lot going on. Let's crop that. Can we crop that? Crop. This one had a lot going on, so I was like, well, let me just go ahead and pull a copy of it. Okay. All right. Oh, also, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. This is just a random thing. If you do have like a Netflix account, check out there's a docu. I guess it's a documentary. It's called The Social Dilemma. I thought it was very interesting. It's a documentary that kind of speaks on um, how social media is affecting the mental health of society. I thought it was interesting. It's something to kind of just be aware of, so that you can kind of with a lot of different things. I really just encourage people to just be aware. You don't have to, do whatever resonates with you, but at least do your best to be aware of certain things, right? As best you can, and then you can make a decision. Okay, so let's see. So this is number one from the home from section 1.6, and we're gonna focus on 1A, right? Let's see, and let's move this down. So our f of x, I'm just kind of rewriting what's already there, is going to be x squared minus 5x. And it also has that g of x is 9 minus x cubed, right? Okay, so part A asks us to do f plus g of 2, right? Okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? This means f of g of 2, right? So what I'm going to do off to the side, I'm going to go ahead and find g of 2 first, right? So g of x is 9 minus x cubed. Notice that I replaced the x with a blank set of parentheses. And then with this one, what goes into the blank parentheses for g of 2? 2 goes into the blank parentheses. If we crunch the number, we're going to get 9 minus 8, which is 1, right? So g of 2 is 1. So then I plug that answer into f. So then we're going to do f of 1, right? F of 1 is going to be x squared minus 5x. Notice I replaced each x with a blank parentheses. I'm gonna replace each x with the 1, right? With the 1. Oh, guys, also, if you don't know how to read cursive, practice cursive. I read it to somebody the other day. It was a German guy. He was like, he had to read his grandma's, not had to, but he had the opportunity to read his grandma's armoire or a diary or something like that. But it was in cursive and in German. He already knew how to speak German, but he realized that a lot of people didn't know how to read cursive. I was like, you don't know how to do cursive? And I do remember that debate when it came up where they were talking about removing it from schools, which I get because in this day and age everything is technological, but it's better to have that skill and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? So that's the idea there. Just being able to read and write cursive. It seems very trivial until it pops up, and then next thing you know, you're like, crap, I wish I had learned that. Again, it's just better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So 1 minus 5, ultimately the answer should be -4 for part A. We're going to come back. We're going to just plug them all in and check our results. Hopefully everything should be working still. And hopefully, we're not wasting our time or anything. So then B, and actually I kind of want to try something else too. Let me do this option. Let's do like this. Is that a circle? That is a circle. Awesome. So style. Okay, I guess so. Whatever. So then 1B, let me just copy this one. Okay, this one asks us to do G minus F of -2. Okay, again, what does this mean? Okay, okay, for the sake of time, I'm just gonna do it. I was kind of curious. Did you get an answer, or you think you can do it? Like, can you type it in the chat? But just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and keep working through it because I know we don't have a lot of time today. So again, what does this mean? And can you guys hear me okay? Ali Ali Oxenfree? This in the chat. I hope my audio is going through. Uh-oh. Let me type real quick. Hopefully I hadn't been chatting. Can you oh, okay, cool, thanks, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because if I don't check, then sometimes I'll be going and nothing's getting through. Okay, so again, what is wait a minute. Daggone it. See? Only reason nobody caught this mistake. I totally did that first one wrong, right? I'm just not seeing what it is. I totally did composition. I was on autopilot. This is totally wrong. I just looked at what it was, right? I interpreted it wrong. So let me strike through this. I'm gonna just leave the mistake there and let's start over, right? Because I want you to see that. Let's start over because I just realized what I did wrong. Right? Let's go like this. So let's copy this. Actually, let's copy this. That's okay about that. Let's copy. Let's paste. I'm going to leave the error and let me fix it because I just realized what I was doing wrong. Moving too fast. I'm totally distracted. Okay. So we got to go back. What does this mean? I just automatically did composition, right? This is not composition. This is just adding the two functions together. This means, let's do it like this. This means f of 2 plus g of 2. This means basically add the two functions together when x is 2, right? That's what it means. So let's go back. We need to find f of 2. F is, let's copy this. Copy. We'll paste it here. And let's move this down. Got to keep me honest. You can. We can add the two functions together first, simplify, and then plug in the number. But to me, something like this is just easy if you find the number first, right? So if we do f of 2, we're going to say x squared minus 5x, and then x in this case is 2. So that's going to be, what, 4 minus 10, which is negative 6, right? Then let's go ahead and find g of 2. G of 2 is going to be 9 minus x cubed. Again, the x in this case is a 2. So that's going to be 9 minus 8, which is 1. So then to finish up the example, f of 2 was negative 6. And we said plus g of 2 was 1. So then negative 6 plus 1 is ultimately negative 5, right? You can add these functions together, you get an answer, and then once you simplify it, you can plug in x equals 2, you should get the same answer. Style. Like this. Okay? I feel better about that. I totally was on autopilot. Did I have the same answer? Close. Close but no cigar, right? That would have been wrong. We're gonna check it anyway. So let's go ahead and do the next one. So then 1b. That's fine. So then 1b says g minus f of negative 2. Again, it says g minus f of negative 2. Again, what does this mean? This means g of negative 2 minus f of negative 2. Right? It's basically g minus f when x is negative 2. All right? So we can actually do those separate. We can do those off to the side. We can do g of negative 2. We'll get an answer. G of negative 2 is going to be 9 minus x cubed, but the x in this case is negative 2. So that's going to be 9. I think that's going to be plus 8, right? Because a triple negative is going to be negative 8, but then we got the negative 8 times the negative in front of it. This is a positive 8. So the answer is going to be, what, 17. And then let's go ahead and do f of negative 2. F x squared minus 5x. X squared minus 5x. X is negative 2. All right. So that first one is going to be a positive 4. Double negative is positive. 5 times 2 is 10. That's 14. So then ultimately here we're going to get g of negative 2, which is 17, minus f of negative 2, which is 14. And I think that answer is 3. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So that was B. I think we got to the bottom. F times g of negative 2. So then C. Again, it was F times g of negative 2. So again, this one is F times g of negative 2. Again, what does this mean? This means basically f of negative 2 times g of negative 2. All right. So this one is a little bit. You see how long it takes? It just takes time. You know, you can use calculators to speed things up. The main thing is as long as you know what you're doing as you move. Okay, let's just do these. I think we did, but we found these results already, so we can use the ones from before. F of negative 2 looks like it's 14. Just gonna keep our colors going. F of negative 2 was 14, so we're gonna say 14 times G of negative 2 was 17. Hey Siri, what's 14 times 17?
14 times 17 is 238.
Okay. And then let's go ahead and do 1D. Copy and paste. That's fine by me. That looks good. And 1D, G divided by F of 3. So this is, stop. G divided by F of 3. All right. Again, what does this mean? This means G of 3 divided by F of 3. All right. I don't think we found these yet, so let's do it off to the side. G of 3, that's not a parentheses. G of 3 is going to be, G is 9 minus x cubed, right? 9 minus x cubed. So that's going to be 9 minus x cubed. X in this case is 3. That's going to be 9 minus 27. If there were 10, that's 17, 18. Negative 18. And then f of 3, x squared minus 5x. X squared minus 5x, but the x in this case is 3. So that's going to be 9 minus 15, which is what, 6. So then this is going to be g of 3, which is negative 18, divided by f of 3, which is 6. Okay. So then that final result looks like it's going to be negative 3. Okay, let's see, how do we do? Hopefully we got to the bottom of our errors. We were able to work those things out. You know, like math isn't about not making mistakes. You're supposed to make mistakes. The real challenge comes in catching the mistakes and fixing them and correcting them, rectifying them, right? Can you rectify the mistakes? Okay, let's see, how do we do? Okay, I'm going to start at the top here. I'm gonna hop back over. Let me go here. I think I have to change it here like this. This one, okay. So that our people at home can see. And then let's hop here. Oh, actually, it's like this. This one. Okay, this still looks good. F plus G of 2, we got an answer of -5. Let's cross our fingers and kiss it goodbye. We're good to go there. The next one, G minus F of -2 is 3. Okay, the next one, C, 238. Awesome sauce. And the last one, we got a result of -3. Oh, let's see. G of 3, G divided by F. Let's see. 27, 9 minus 27. Hey Siri, what's 9 minus 27?
9 minus 27 is -18.
9 minus 15. Oh, -6. There is a mistake. I found it. So this was supposed to be, let's use this color. This was supposed to be a -6 there, right? So that makes this a -6, and that makes this guy over here a +3, right? So the final answer should have been +3. So instead of -3, I'm just going to put 3. Okay, not bad. Okay. Let me see. Let me check the chat really quickly, see if you guys had any specific requests. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go into the next one. Actually, I think I'm gonna jump around since that one took so long. Okay, I'm just gonna choose one at random. Hey Google, give me a random number 1 through 19. Hey Google, change your volume to 60%. Ironically enough, she gave 2 anyway. I was already about to do 2, and she gave 2. So, find each of the following values. Given the f is this, give this. I wonder if we can do this quick. I think I'm gonna skip this one because it's kind of a repeat. The numbers are a little bit, the functions are a little bit different, but it's a repeat of what we just did with different functions. I'm just gonna go to the next one. I'm trying to find something. Given f is this. So this is the same idea. Let me kind of choose one. This is the same idea, but now we're not putting numbers in. Let me do like number 17. Okay, find 2 functions such that f composed g is this, right? So suppose, okay, they give us that the inside function is x minus 9, so then the outside function, I don't know how to explain this other than it's just going to be 5 over x, right? Because if f of x is 5 over x, then when we do f compose g, if we put g inside of f, we'll finish with h. Let me check this one, okay? Let me do the next question. As a composition of 2 functions, so they want us to break this down, right? Choose the expression for f and g for which f compose g gives us h, right? So, for instance, if I were doing this on my own, I would let g be x cubed minus 8, and then f would be 1 over the absolute value of x. I'm thinking like a. Let me see, what's wrong with this one? No, that one doesn't. I'm just going to go ahead with a, because a is exactly what I was thinking. Okay, I'm just going to go to the next question. Okay, let's give this one a go. What's the time? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. Okay. Let me get rid of the chat. Can we go like this? Like this? One of these work. How did I do that? Oops, I hit something there. No. Scheiße. I got to think about how did I zoom. There it is. Let's go like this. Do you need to be reloaded? All right. Let's preview. Come on. Anyway, let's hit done. Like this. Like this. There it is. And then we're working on number 19. Okay. I just want this out of the way. And then the zoom. There's a. That's throwing my stuff off. How can I get that to behave properly? That looks okay. That's too much. Looks okay. I don't even know. That's even better. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. I need to do a screenshot. Yeah, instead of doing a screenshot, I'm just gonna work with what's on the screen, and I'm gonna take my own notes. So this will be question number 19. Okay, so number 19 from the homework. This is section 1.6, question 52 from the back of that. It says that we work in a department store in which employees are entitled to a 40% discount on their purchase, right? So they get a discount on the purchase. We also have a coupon worth $15 off any item, right? So write a function f that represents the price of the item after applying the discount. Okay, this one isn't too bad, right? This is similar. We actually did this one like yesterday. I'm just gonna repeat what we did, right? So write a function that represents the price of the item after applying a 40% discount. So instead of paying 100%, we're going to take 40% off of 100%, and we're only going to pay 60%. So to capture that, we're going to say 0.6 times x, right? We're going to pay 60% of whatever the price is. I'm going to hit enter. Okay. Then the next one, it says, after applying a coupon, it says the coupon was $15 off. So if we take the price of the item minus $15, right? Go away. Now, enter. All right. So then the next one, it says the cost of part C. It says use the composition of your two functions A and B to model the cost for an item if the clerk applies the discount first and then the coupon, right? So let me see the discount and then the coupon, right? So the discount first means we do f of x first. So I'm just writing. I know you can't see what I'm writing, but let me see what do I have shown on here. Yeah, I think we're okay there. So if f of x is the discount and g of x is the coupon, we want to apply the discount first. So we want f of x to be on the inside, and then g of x to be the second thing that we do. So that goes on the outside, right? And again, we said that f of x is 0.6 times x, and g of x was x minus 15. Okay. Let me hop over here so that people can see what I'm writing. Right. So we said f of x was 60% of x, g of x was this. It says write a function so that shows the final price if we apply the discount first and then apply the coupon, right? So I did f of x first and then we did g of x, okay? So then this one is going to be g of f of x is 0.6x, right? Again, g of x is x minus 15, but the x in this case is the red thing. Hopefully that's okay, right? So then ultimately we finish with 0.6x minus 15. Nothing to distribute. It looks good, right? Okay, I'm going to go with this. And then I'm assuming that the next one, before I'm instead of showing it to everybody, part D says use a composition of the two functions to model the cost for an item if they do the coupon first and then the discount. So basically it's reverse. This is what? Part B? This was B. So then let's do part C. Here, let's write it like this. So this was 19, I think it's B, or is it C? Actually, that was C. All right, so this was 19C. So this is 19D. What's the time? Okay. 19D. So basically the reverse, right? So they're asking us to do f of g of x, right? We did g of f of x in the previous one. Okay. So this is going to be f of, again, what's our g of x? Our g of x in this case is x minus 15, right? So then our f of x was 0.6 times x. But again, what's the x here is the green thing. Green. Okay, so if we distribute and simplify, we'll get 0.6x. 10% would be 1.5, so that's 6 plus 3, I think that's a 9. 60%. Hey Siri, what's 60% of 15?
60% times 15 is 9.
Okay. So this is the second one. So it looks like we get more of a discount with the first one, right? Because the first one they're taking off $15. The second one they're really only taking off $9. Now, to me, that's when mathematics really comes alive, because in this society, everything has, quote unquote, everything has like a price associated with it. And so, I don't understand like how you can say something like I don't like math. If you don't like math, that means you don't like money, because they're the same thing. You see what I'm saying? If you like money, then you actually do like math. You just don't know that you like math. Anyway, and you actually do know math. Like, you actually do know it. If we were in person, there's usually demos that I do when we're in person, but it's a little bit harder with this kind of setting. Um, but yeah, if you like money, you like math. You just don't know that you like math, right? Anyway, let's test these results and see how do we do. And actually, let me switch this one back over as well. Looks like we got something in the chat. Let me check these answers first. So then for C, we get a result of, we got this 0.6x minus 15. Let's cross our fingers. Okay. And then the next one we got 0.6x minus 9. Why do you keep doing that? Okay. So part E says, use the composite functions from C and D to find out how much more an item costs if the clerk applies the coupon first. The coupon first was part D, right? Because the bigger discount came from part C, right? So basically, if we say, okay, let's do it this way. Let's do it the way that the notes did it. Let me go back here. Let me switch this to this, and you guys can see it. So then part E is basically saying the following. If we apply the coupon first, so that's basically saying what F compose G, we're doing that one first, and then we're going to say minus G compose F, right? That's what we're doing. So we're basically saying the answer from D minus the answer from C. Okay? So I'm just going to use those answers. So then that's going to be the 0.6x minus 9 minus the earlier one is 0.6x minus 15. Right? I just said the answer from D minus the answer from C. Okay? We got a negative we need to account for, so we need to distribute this negative, and then we can lose our parentheses. So then we'll get 0.6x minus 9 minus 0.6x plus 15. All right? We got some cancellations going on. A number plus its opposite adds 0. Okay? The difference between 15 and 9 is 6. We'll be paying $6 more if she applies the coupon first and then the discount. So that's kind of how that goes. $6. But that's good to know, like, this kind of thing. And like sometimes it was funny, like we'd be on road trips and my dad will just bust out doing calculations while we're riding down the road. I didn't realize it, but I mean that's actually a really powerful thing. That's like a superpower. And like we would just for fun see can we calculate stuff and just play around with like crunching numbers and getting a sense of the dynamics of like the hidden dynamics of systems. I didn't realize it until later in life. Anyway, let's go and check our results. So let me go here like this so I can show what we're doing like this. So it says that we'll pay $6 more, right? Let's see how do we do. Awesome sauce. Okay, I think we got time for one more. Let me check the chat. Well, it depends on how quickly it goes. So let me check the chat, see if there are any requests. Where are you? Cap. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means captain. Okay, I'm gonna let it be. All right, let's. Hey Google, give me a random number 1 through 19. I'm gonna go 13. 7. Lucky number 11. Have you seen that movie? That's an interesting movie. Let f of x be this, g of x is this. This is a repeat of what we did, but I think we can do this one quick. I'm gonna try to do it quick, right? Oh, yeah. So it's not fully a repeat. Is that somebody trying to get in? There might be somebody trying to get in. And they might be in the next class. Let me see. I think he might be in the next class. Yeah, let me just hold off on letting him know. Because even if he's in this class is almost over. So, this says, okay, this one is composition. We're going to do f of g of 0. So let's do g of 0 first. If we plug a 0 in here, we get an answer of -3. Then we take that -3 and plug it in f. That's going to be what? -15 plus 1 is -14. Let's see, how do we do? -14. Cross our fingers. Awesome sauce. Let me just do the next one. Okay, another composition, -d. G of -d is going to be that. So basically the same thing. Instead of an x, it's a d. Simplify your answer. Do not factor. Okay. So I think I can write the answer. Let me see. It's going to be 4 times all of that. I'm going to distribute and simplify. 2d squared minus 5. Then we're going to say plus 7. That looks good. Let's go ahead and distribute that 4. If we distribute the 4, this guy becomes an 8. 4 times 5 is going to become 20. We can lose our parentheses because we've distributed the 4, and the 4 is now gone. And then if we combine like terms, those two add up to what? -13, right? -13, and again, this is gone. I think we're golden. I'm gonna go with this. All right, cross our fingers. Awesome sauce. Let's do the next one. F of x is this. F of 4. Okay. So when x is 4, 28 minus 4 is 24. Then we plug it back into the same function. 24 times 7. That's going to be what? 140 plus 28. 168. 164. Let's go 164. 164. Okay. Let's keep going. Evaluate f of g and find the domain. Yes, this will be the last one because we need to get some practice finding the domain. So g inside of f, let me write this one out actually. This will be the last one for the day. We'll go ahead and make this be the last one. So this is number 10. Number 10. It comes from section 1627. Okay. F of x, we got this x plus 1 under 4. And g of x, we have this 5 over x. That asks us to find f compose g of x and the domain, right? Because we definitely need to talk about this. Okay, let's hop here. We're going to show this one. That looks okay. There it is. And then we can show this for you guys. Okay, so let me try to wrap it up because I see the time. I'm trying to get you guys out of here. Let's start off with f compose g of x. Again, what does this mean? This means f of g of x, right? But then what's our g of x? G of x in this case is 5 over x. Okay. So then what's our f of x? Our f of x is, we got this x plus 1 under 4, right? But what's our x in this case is the green thing. Hopefully this is okay with everybody. So now with this one, I'm going to get rid of the fractions within a fraction by multiplying by 1 in a certain form. If I look at my denominators, the only denominator that I'm concerned with is x, so I'm going to multiply a 1 in this form, right? If I do this, we get the following result. The top becomes 4x. If we distribute this x into the bottom, kind of like this, it's going to cancel there, so that's going to become a 5 plus x under 4x, right? So that's part of the question, okay? And then let's find the domain. Now the 3-step process for finding the domain. Let's do it like this. Let's go like this. We're going to say for finding the domain of f composed g, right? The first thing is find the domain of the inside function, right? And that's going to be the domain of g. So the domain of g, if we look at g by itself, it's a rational function. The domain of a rational function is all reals except any x that makes the denominator 0. So we're going to throw out x equal to 0. So the domain there is going to be everything except 0, right? The second step is find the domain of the simplified function, right? The simplified function, you see it at the top right corner of the screen right now. Again, the only restriction there is that we cannot divide by we can't divide by 0. So when x is -5, that gives us a 0. So that domain is going to be, let's say, domain of the simplified. X cannot be -5, right? So the domain of the inside function is everything except 0. The domain of the simplified function is everything except -5. So then the final step is to take the intersection of those two sets. Take their intersection. All right, take the intersection. So if the first set is everything except 0, the second set is everything except -5. Those two sets are going to overlap. The things they're going to have in common is going to be everything except 0 and -5, right? So ultimately, x cannot be 0, and I'm just going to say and x cannot be -5. So like if we were on a number line, here's our -5, here's our 0. Again, it can't be -5, it can't be 0. So we are concerned with basically all the numbers going this way, everything in between 0 and 5, and all the numbers going this way. And then we want to include everything except, so we're going to, for the 5 and the 0, we're going to put basically like a parentheses like that, double parentheses like this, right? So in interval notation, what this is going to be, the far left is going to be -infinity up to -5. And then we want the numbers from -5 to 0. And then we want from 0 to infinity. Infinity always gets a parentheses. Since we don't want the 5 and the 0, all of these numbers get parentheses. And we combine these sets with unions. All right? I know that was a little involved, but that's what it takes. All right? Do the best you can. I'm not saying this is the only way. I'm just showing you that it's possible. Everybody has to find their own way. Right? Let's see, how do we do? And I'll let you guys go. So let's hop back here, like this. Not that one, this one, okay. Let's check our results. So the simplified result that we got a fraction. The top was 4x. The bottom was 5 plus x. Cross our fingers. That looks good. And then the domain. We basically said everything except -5 and 0, right? So the far left was -infinity up until -5. I think we need to do cup. Then we said from -5 to 0. And then we're going to say cup again. And then we did from 0 to infinity. Okay, let's cross our fingers. Awesome sauce. All right, on that note, we're going to end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay? Let's be ready for exam 2 over the second half of chapter 1. It should open up on Wednesday. You can earn full credit by completing it anywhere from Wednesday to Saturday. After Saturday, there'll be a late penalty. Okay. I'm available over the weekend if you guys have questions, and take care. I'll see you next time.